Hello, and welcome to RollBound. My name is Chas, and I am the DM for this wonderful group. We're going to go down the list and everyone introduce themselves, starting off with Groove. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Groove, and I am bound to the role of Chronoheres Mobius.
Alrighty, and Allie.
Hello, I am Allie. I am bound to the role of Charybdis Mobius.
Alrighty, Minnow.
Hello, my name is Minnow. I am bound to the role of Lady Reverie.
Awesome. Mickey.
Hi, I'm Mickey, and I'm bound to the role of Maria.
And last but never least, Joey.
My name is Joey, and I am bound to the role of Winfrey McNeil.
Let's get this show on the road. So, it is a day unlike any other. There are no clouds in the sky, the sun is out, there's a slight breeze just filling the air. And it is, as you know, it is Fire Sun on Hydrus 25th. It is currently the middle of summer. And you are on the island of Retka, a city that is way off the coast of the country of Viron. There's the sound of people going about their daily business, loading crates onto a very large and beautiful looking ship. Even you hear this from the bar of the ship known as the Siren Song. The room is very dim lit. There are, sort of a pink, almost maroon sort of colored carpeting and walls. There are wall sconces that sort of have like little nautical lanterns with like seashells and plants that look like lavender but aren't quite lavender. They're a bit too big, sort of sprouting out of them. There is currently someone playing some music for an upcoming performance. The whole room smells like sweet alcohol and very well-made, hearty food. All of the waitresses are wearing, like, cute sailor outfits that aren't in any way, like, demeaning. It's a very nice scene. So with that, you are all on a cruise ship, once again known as the Siren Song, in case anyone needs to hear it twice. What's going on in the everyday lives of your characters?
So, are we going to be, similar to where we were during our prologues, or?
Yes, except instead of, starting at, the kind of loading dock, you would be already within the Siren Song's bar.
Where are we within the bar at the moment?
Where would you like to be?
I think that Charybdis would be at a table near... There's a piano in here.
Yes.
Sort of near the piano. Not so much that it drowns out conversation, but close enough to really hear the intricacies of the melodies being played. She's scanning the room, seeing who else is here, taking note of her surroundings, and just kind of tapping along to the music being played.
Charybdis, you sort of are looking around, taking in your surroundings, and you notice that the music changes very suddenly. And, you hear, a loud, thud, the sound of, boots hitting wood. And you sort of, look up and around at the sudden, total shift, and you see a blue-skinned, long hair with darker blue, the hair is darker blue, literally stepping on the stool and then stepping onto the bar. Maria, tell us about your performance.
Maria is going to kind of get situated on top of the bar, and then she's going to dip down and grab one of the full steins of ale, and then she's going to put the hand on the back of her pirate hat, and then she's going to down the whole thing before dropping it back on the bar, and then sudden upbeat violin music starts playing, and she starts tapping her heel, before she starts singing it's kind of like a she shanty, but also not. It seems to be telling the tale of a small fox finding its flame. Some of the lyrics are in Elvish, others are in Common. There is one verse that is actually in Sylvan, but anyone that can read, or anyone that knows the language can tell that she doesn't really actually know it. More like it's been memorized to pay tribute to the story being told. And then she starts strutting up and down the bar as she sings.
Yeah, you know what, Maria? Let's kick this off. Give me a performance check.
I would love to. I really hope it's not bad. First thing she fucking does, trips on her fucking face. It's a 22.
Yeah, so everyone in the bar sort of like stops because the music before was like almost kind of spunky jazz music. Like it was very, high-end restaurant sort of vibe going on. And so you see like some of these rich people like stop and then turn their heads over to the bar. And this woman is just strutting her stuff and singing this very lovely song. And, the bar goes from being, like, a little bit quiet and everyone's sort of, like, light chattering. And then suddenly people are, like, clapping and stomping their feet and kind of just going along. Maria, you have stolen the show.
And you said Maria's kind of, like, dancing as well as part of, like, this performance, yeah?
Yeah.
I think at this point, Charybdis likes to get involved in things, even when, it might not be the best idea to do so. I think at this point, DM, I would like to... I'm going to expend a second level spell slot and cast Enhance Ability. I'm going to give Maria's Cat's Grace, using a sorcery point to use my distant spell Meta Magic. So... Maria will have advantage on all dexterity ability checks, as well as not take damage from falling 20 feet or less.
Yeah, so Maria, as you're kind of, like, doing this performance, you feel this, like, I wouldn't say energy kind of pulls through you, but you honestly feel like somehow, some way, you are being watched, and that watchful presence over you is making you perform better.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like, this does have components to it, to casting the spell, obviously. So I think Maria would see Charybdis, like, pull out this wire sphere from her side as she's just, like, enthralled with this performance and, like, whisper a couple of words into it and then spin it. And then there's this tuft of what looks to be snow leopard fur that spins out of it, but it looks more ethereal than anything else, and kind of, like, speeds over to Maria's position and then just, like, fades from existence as you feel this tingling warmth come over you.
Now, are you implying that you made it very obvious that you were the person casting the spell?
Not intentionally so, but, if anybody knows what's happening, they could probably figure it out pretty easily.
Yeah, you know what, Maria, since you're a magic user yourself, give me a perception check, but roll it with advantage.
Will do.
Will do.
Ooh, I got a natural 20.
Ooh!
Ooh!
Advantage.
Yes. The other one sucked.
Rolled exactly a 20 and a 1.
No, the other one was a 9.
Oh, that still sucks, though.
I think with the natural 20, Maria would also see that Charybdis gives her a little wink as she's doing this as well.
Noted.
Yeah, so after, a few minutes of Maria just banging out this wonderful, wonderful performance, I mean, like, the room's total aura shifts. Like, the walls seem to kind of look red and fiery for a moment. Almost seemingly coming out of nowhere. And, like, the man at the piano, he at first had no idea what's going on. He's like a young half-elf man that has, like, a buzz cut, and, like, he's decked out in, like, a very fancy, like, tailcoat. And he, like, when he heard the music change, he looked so confused because it was not his doing, and then he started playing the piano along to it. So there was this beautiful medley of, like, violin and a very fast-paced piano. But once it concludes, the other patrons of the bar sort of calm down, as Maria steps off the bar, I would assume. And it goes back to the sort of smooth jazz. Like, just a very, smooth transition from the upbeat sort of nature back down to the calm, collective, sort of feel of the bar. What are the rest of you doing?
Is there any chance that Winfrey would have recognized the performer and or the performance?
Give me, a base intelligence check.
You got it. That's a 14.
On a 14, you have definitely heard this music before, but you can't attach a name to a sound. But by that assumption, you'd assume that whoever was performing is probably decently well known, but you've just never seen said person in person.
How far away is Maria at this point from the bar? If you just step down from it?
Would you still be at the bar, Maria? Did you get down and then sit in a stool to continue drinking, or what'd you do?
She probably would have made her way towards the table with Allie's character.
Oh, so she went straight to Charybdis.
Yeah.
What table would Charybdis be sitting at? Because I'm totally following Maria with my scotch in hand, as well as an extra gin.
One to the left from the table at the top right, I'd say.
One to the left from the table at the top right, so kind of towards the center, close to the piano?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Also, at this point, DM, I think Charybdis notes that Maria is kind of heading in her direction, but is also going to scan the room for her brother.
Yeah, give me a perception check, and then Chronoheres, if you are trying to be sneaky, you can roll stealth. But if you're not, then, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Perception, that is 17, 18.
So that an 18. Chronoheres, tell us, on an 18, do you think your sister would be able to see you?
Yes, absolutely. Charybdis scans the... Okay, we're good. Scans the room and sees near the door to the bottom right stands her brother, and she sees, as people tend to pool around Charybdis, he is slightly smiling, observing this habit of hers to attract attention, that of which is very quickly wiped off his face as he looks about shiftily. He seems to be attempting to read some sort of document, but every time he becomes enthralled in it, his attention is quickly pulled away by the opening or closing of the door, or the noise or lights. He is, stoic, but nervous.
Do you reconvene with your sister, or do you tend to still try to stay away because of the collection of people?
Seeing the people pooling up, he will give his sister a characteristic double wink, meaning in their sibling language, all is okay, and keep scanning the room.
I think at this point, Charybdis, still holding the wire sphere in her right hand, just kind of spins it a little bit more as one of the wires just very subtly points towards Chronoheres. I'm going to cast Message and then just whisper to him, I'm keeping an eye out. Doesn't seem like we're being too terribly watched.
Certainly more than we should after that little stunt, he says semi-playfully.
She casts it again and says, well, anything to keep the eyes off you, dear brother.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, so Winfrey is following Maria to the table, and Maria is going to Charybdis. Lady Reverie, what are you up to? What did you think of the performance?
So, as Lady Reverie, who is currently in the top left corner of the bar in that corner booth, on her way in, she met a lovely halfling family, and they've been chatting the whole time about, where they're from, what they're doing here. They're all so excited that they were finally able to afford these tickets after so long, always having to put the vacation off, and just having a great time. And then as soon as the song started, Lady Reverie stood up and started dancing with the three halfling, very small children. One of them on her shoulders, another one hanging onto her leg, which is a prosthetic, so it makes it much harder for her to wobble, and the other just holding onto her hands as they sort of just like spin around the room. She has no idea what the song is, no idea what any of the words to the regular part are, but the moment that it slips into Sylvan, she sings that line as if she's known it perfectly, and then immediately forgets that she ever said it. And currently, after the song ends, watching Maria go over to the corner where the rest of the party is convening, she then looks over and sees this like weird little whispering going on from Charybdis and scans the crowd to see if necessarily there's someone that she is whispering to. Can I try and see if I spot Chronoheres?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Do I notice, do I notice Lady Reverie looking around to see who Charybdis is talking to?
Also make me a perception check.
That's cocked.
Not super high.
That is also cocked. Okay, that is a 13.
That is a 15.
Alright, Chronoheres, tell me the result on your roll when you get it.
What kind of check would you like?
You said you were gonna roll deception, correct?
Yes.
I'm fine with that. Go ahead and roll deception.
4.
Yeah. Because I would consider it that at any time you're trying not to seem... Like, the reason I'm letting you do this without noticing is that I feel like at any given time, Chronoheres is trying not to be obvious, so I'll let it slide with that one.
Do I notice Reverie scanning the room?
Let me get all 3 rolls real quick, so that way I can do them in order.
Yep, mine was a 15 to notice him.
Mine was 13.
And Chronoheres?
4.
4! Yeah, so, Charybdis, you don't quite notice, Reverie herself, but you, like, have this, like, weird tingling in the back of your neck. Like, the hairs on the back of your neck raise, and you're like, someone knows something. And Reverie, you do notice that who, Charybdis was whispering to is someone across the bar that looks, exactly like her.
Oh, that is too fascinating. I take the child off my shoulders, set them down, and say, I'll be right back. And then I will go hobbling across the room. And the moment that Chronoheres finishes saying, like, something along the lines of, like, well, I didn't get noticed, or something like that, she just leans over and says, what are you reading?
Chronoheres very briefly jumps and folds the paper, putting it away. But swiftly he is back to his calm appearance. He stares at you, these dark bags under his eyes, and seems to look you up and down for any perceivable threat or weapons before clearing his throat. Nothing. Why?
Oh, looks like you were really interested in that nothing for a little bit.
You were mistaken. And he
I guess
will
so. It
walk
happens to me
over
all the time.
and join his sister.
I'll walk with you. I'll say, was that your sister? You guys look so much alike.
Yes, it is. Why?
I'm just interested. I like seeing things and meeting new people. I'm Lady Reverie. What's your name?
That's terrible, Lady Reverie. And he sits down with his sister.
Alright, that's terrible. I sit down next to you.
Yeah, so, Maria and Winfrey, like, on this trail of curiosity, Maria going up to Charybdis and Winfrey going up to, Maria, the lot of you notice that there is just now a collection of people at this one table. Charybdis, you see your brother approaching, like, please help, and, this, tiefling woman, this very tall tiefling woman, just kind of trailing behind him.
I think at this point, like, Charybdis starts very much sweating. The situation has gotten a little out of hand at this point. So her eyes kind of lock with her brother's for a moment, and she she doesn't know what to do in this situation. She's just like, and then looks over.
Yes, Chronoheres, more commonly the decision maker between the two, pipes up, saying, "But we can go see if they have pumpkin muffins at the buffet."
Oh.
I don't think pumpkins are in season, actually, but I'm happy to go check with you. Oh, you were talking to her, my mistake.
Yes, it was.
I look over at Charybdis. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Lady Reverie.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. Charybdis Mobius, at your service.
Charybdis and That's Terrible. Interesting names. I like them both.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Indeed. Charybdis? He's beginning to walk towards the door now.
Oh, right. The rest of you, would you like to see a party trick?
What? Says audibly.
Without
Yes.
waiting for a response, DM, Charybdis will concentrate, and then a clockwork ferret will just pop into existence on the table, and then just start doing like a traditional like line dance, you know, with its like hands on its hips.
Lady Reverie's enthralled. This is amazing.
Does it look like everybody's eyes like get off of Chronoheres at this point? With
Does,
this distraction?
Winfrey was never looking at him in the first place.
I think at this point, like, and like as part of that, and as everybody's eyes like kind of turn to face her familiar, Charybdis, then like as seemingly trying to play it off as just another flourish as part of summoning this creature, I'm going to use my remaining 2 sorcery points to quicken spell, vortex warp, and get Chronoheres out of the room.
Yeah, so, Maria, you like approach this table, and then you see someone that looks like exactly like Charybdis pop up, leave, and then a ferret's on the table, and there's also a tiefling here, and there's also someone behind you.
I think I made a mistake coming over here. I know I'm not drunk. I've only had 1 glass, so... Huh.
Huh.
Is Maria saying that out loud?
Yeah.
Charybdis says, well, if you'd like to be drunk, I can certainly arrange that for you.
Hey, I'm already working on it. And I hold up the 2 glasses and I say, "You're a gin lady or a Scotch lady, yeah?"
You know what? Gin. And then she's gonna take the glass and then down it.
Perfect, because I'm a Scotch lady myself. And I'm going to take a drink out of it and I'm going to say, now that you've downed that, answer my question for me.
Sure, why not? What's up?
Where'd you learn that beautiful piece?
Oh, that one? It's actually a story of a little fox I know during my travels.
Could have swore I heard it somewhere before. The way you sing, I suppose, makes it sound very familiar, like...
I mean, I perform in the city a lot. I travel a lot, so I mean, could have heard me there.
Nay, madame. There's no way I would have heard that in the city. It's alright, though. I'm sure I just heard it in passing.
Yeah, maybe.
So anyway, this is talk. Charybdis points to the ferret on the table. He's my friend.
No. Whoa, wait. What is with the whole, like, disappearing act between you and, I'm assuming, your twin brother?
What twin brother? I don't have a twin brother. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, if he's not a twin, then maybe it's just your brother. Not that I know, I'm just spewing.
Picking up on the immediate discomfort coming from Charybdis on the subject, Lady Reverie picks up the ferret and then pushes it basically up into both of your faces and says, "Look at this ferret, its name is Talk."
We heard the first time.
Yeah, you didn't pay attention. Look at it, it's so cool, look. I can make it do a high five. Check it out, and I try and make it do a high five.
It high fives Reverie, and then like as it does so, just like a small like bit of static just travels up Reverie's arm. Not enough to deal damage, but just a little zap.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Also, I think I've heard that song before as well, but I can't really remember where or why or how I heard it, but it was amazing. You should really do that some more. Are you going to be performing more? I get the impression they didn't hire you, but I'm also really glad that you're here. My name's Lady Reverie. What's your name? Looking at Maria.
So, is your name Lady, or like...
You can call me Rev. My friends call me Rev.
Rev. Oh, so I'm assuming Lady is like a title?
Sure.
Got it. Yeah, thanks. I think you're complimenting my song.
I was.
Question.
I'm Rev.
How old are you?
Oh, how old am I? That's a great question. The answer is at least... And she thinks very hard. And then she whispers very quietly, hoping that no one else can hear, "Runner, how old are we?" And DM, do I get any response?
You do.
Which is hard because it's in pictures.
Yeah, you just hear like a quiet voice like in the back of your head, Reverie, that just goes, 32.
I'm 32. How old are you?
You should never ask a lady her age. Anyways, my name's Maria.
Well, I think we've already established that I'm a lady as well, but I'll let that slide. Maria, it is a delight to meet you, and I hope that you do perform more as well. And she looks over at Winfrey and just gives the biggest smile to this tiny ball of hatred and anger, and says,
"What bloody shit are you looking at?"
"I'm looking at you. You said you're a Scotch lady, right?"
I did.
"Well, I'm a Reverie lady. Let me go get you some Scotch. Come with me."
I never turned down a free drink.
I put my hand out for like a handshake, but the first time it's the right arm, which is the prosthetic, and then she pulls it back, goes whoops, and then holds out the left arm as well for a handshake if you want it.
She'll shake your hand.
That went better than I thought it would. And I walk over to the bar with you.
And I have images. I didn't have this last time, but it's important, I promise. When you approach the bar, the barkeep... That's not the right thing.
It's made of tape.
There we go. The barkeep is a very, very large, buff-ass fire genasi man. He stands at like 6'8". His biceps are about the size of your head. And he's wearing a vest with no shirt on underneath, and his arms are like crossed, and he's been laughing, having a great time. His hair is like, he has like split bangs in the front, and they're tied up into a very high ponytail, except the ponytail is almost completely made out of fire. And he's just behind the counter, tossing people their drinks, very dexterously arranging drinks onto a tray for the waiters and or waitresses to take them away. And he sees, you, Lady Reverie, and, Winfrey approaching, and he crosses his arms and kind of leans back and goes, "Well, hello, yep, step right up, I got everything you need, how can I help you?"
I hear that they're only allowed to be bartenders if they say hello 3 times. Is that true?
Not that I know, but here, I'll make it you free. Hello.
That was 4. That's even better than 3. Alright, well, I am here to make sure that my friend gets as much scotch as she is wanting, but not enough that she probably actually really wants. So can we get her that? And do you have tea? Something non-alcoholic?
I indeed do. So 1 scotch and 1 tea. You have any flavor in mind?
Oh, something not from here.
You know what? I can do that. And you see him turn around and this shelf for most people in the bar would be very hard to reach the top of, but he just grabs this bottle off the top that has these engraving on it that looks like the bottle was wrapped in like fishnets and then like poured resin over so that they stayed there, and then has like paintings of sirens all over it. And it says Siren Song specialty, and then in another font below it, it says Scotch, implying that this is like the ship's brand. And then he reaches under the counter, grabs a glass that is filled like with water, and then he sprinkles this, it literally looks like lawn grass. And then as it dissolves into the drink, it turns into this sort of like, very not saturated, like pink color. And then ice cubes like appear. And he like very daintily puts a straw in it and slides it over to Reverie, and then takes out another sort of like wide short glass and pours the scotch in. And he, pushes both drinks forward because he doesn't know who's ordering for who or whatever, and then he puts the bottle away, and he goes, there is one Northry specialty tea, and then there is one cup o' scotch.
Oh, well. I don't know what a Northreath is, but I'm a big fan.
He looks at you a little confused, and then he's like, Northreath is the country to the east, past Farwood, right above Highfriar.
Oh, interesting. I'd love to find out what a Farwood is too, but that's something for another time. I look over at you and I hold out my glass and say, what do we toast to? You pick.
Well, right now I'm toasting to a free glass of scotch, I am.
It's a free scotch. As she drinks her tea.
And, Lady Reverie, when you're drinking the tea, it tastes wonderful. Like, you feel like there's white tea in there, maybe some strawberry. You know, it tastes very flowery and fruity all at the same time, and it's just a perfect blend of flavors. Almost like as you're drinking it, it's more and more suiting your tastes.
Does it bring up any memories?
You know, like as you're drinking it, you feel like you've been in the woods on a picnic in a place full of like maple leaves that is very gorgeous, where the leaves are shifting between being red and yellow and green. You know, you feel like you felt a cool breeze on your face while enjoying a drink, if not the same, similar to this.
And do I get the impression that this is a happy memory?
Yes.
So yeah, I'll take another big sip and I'll say, we like it, to the bartender. And then back to Winfrey.
So what's your deal,
What do you mean?
Well, you call people in the bar you never met your friend, buy him a free drink. Ask what they're toasting to.
Well, how else do you make friends?
True as that may be, you might find me to be not necessarily the friend-making type. How do you know I'm not just here to raise some trouble?
You could be, but you could still be my friend when you do so.
Nah.
No?
Not me, anyway. Maybe that sorceress over there. Maybe the bard who was singing that tale up on top of the bar here. But I've got business, and not exactly the friend-making type.
Ooh, what kind of business? Can I help?
Only time and fate will tell that.
Time and fate are my two best friends, so I am happy to stick around and find out.
Keep buying me scotch and I might just let you.
Will do. I will pull out, I'll pull out 10 gold and just put it down in the bar, and say, more scotch. I don't know how much scotch is. Is this enough?
Shy, you could buy the whole room around with that.
Yeah,
I don't need the whole room, just the scotch.
The bartender, looks down, and he just, like, looks at Lady Reverie, looks at the counter, sweeps up the gold, and then he just reaches up and grabs the whole bottle, and then sets it down on the counter, and slides it forward.
Great. I will snatch it up and refill your glass, but I am holding on to it myself.
The bartender, Sparks, he looks at the lot of you, like, he looks between you, and he goes, "So, what brings you on a cruise such as this? You don't look like the normal folk that come around here."
Oh, don't I now? I'm just a small little red-haired girl from a far-off island.
I mean, usually the people that come on here are, like, people that associate with the Trakel family or other, like, prudes. I don't usually see anybody interesting on this vessel.
I think when Sparks mentions the Trakel family, like, Charybdis, like, visibly gags.
I'm gonna roll to see if Sparks notices that. Yeah, that's a 21. Sparks looks at Charybdis and goes, "Ha ha! You know what? I had to give you a free drink for that one. Come on over here."
What? Me? Oh, right. Charybdis, like, slowly gets up and just, like, for the first couple paces, I think trudges towards the bar, but then rightens her posture and then walks properly.
Yeah, as you're approaching... go ahead.
I was going to say, seeing that, Reverie will stand up from the stool that she is sitting on, and will then, like, give you a big smile and, like, gesture over, like, come sit by us.
Bring
talk.
Charybdis looks back at the ferret and then just, like, holds out a hand, and you see Talk just, like, burst into, like, metallic confetti and then reconfigure itself on Charybdis' shoulder.
Maria's still at that table, sitting alone at this point?
I think she would have just followed to the bar and sat down.
As Charybdis and Maria are going to the bar, Charybdis, still holding onto the wire sphere, is going to spin it a little bit and then just, like, cover her mouth with her left hand and then just look at Maria and just whisper, "We need to talk. Later."
Yeah, so when the two of you sit at the bar, Sparks looks at Charybdis, and he looks at her up and down for a second, and he kind of, like, rubs his beard. He has a very nicely trimmed beard, by the way, I did forget to mention that. He's a very well-maintained man. He looks great. And he sort of, like, rubs his chin and looks at Charybdis up and down and goes, No, don't tell me. I got it. Mobius.
Charybdis gives, like, kind of a, how'd you know that sort of expression, and then, yes, actually. And then sits down on the bar stool. One of her legs crosses over the other as she sits very straight and proper.
Oh, well, I've seen at least one member of almost every noble family around. And you don't carry yourself like a commoner or someone that just barely got by. You don't really wear like an adventurer either. So, I made a good guess. Also, I saw your twin brother.
Charybdis' eyes go wide and says, Have you? No, never mind. Couldn't be.
Noticing
So it was your
this,
twin after all, eh?
Charybdis gives a side glance over to Winfrey and then just kind of looks slightly up, so, you know, kind of points her nose up a bit and says, "Perhaps that is privileged information."
Yeah, well, now that you're over here, what do you want to drink?
Oh, perhaps it couldn't hurt. Do you have daiquiri, perhaps?
I indeed do.
I prefer anything berry-related in that department.
Sure thing. You, see him sort of pull some glasses and all that. Like, he's flourishing everything between his fingers. He's very dexterous. He doesn't ever drop anything. Sometimes he's not even looking at what he's doing. And, he makes you a strawberry daiquiri, and then he garnishes it with a strawberry that's, like, slit down on one edge so he can slide it over the glass, and then, like, a cute little, like, few little mint leaves, and a cute straw, and then he slides it over.
I think Reverie, Maria, and Winfrey could definitely glean from Charybdis because, you know, she's not very good at hiding some of her expressions. Can probably glean that she's kind of amazed by this, but is actively trying to not look impressed.
That's some right fancy shite it is, eh?
Indeed. I have been this vessel's bartender for the last 15 years, so...
It's missing something, though. snaps as a little tropical umbrella just places itself in the glass. Much better. And then sips it.
That's just pure tacky, that is.
That's pure amazing is what that is.
Charybdis looks over at Winfrey and then just, like, sticks her tongue out slightly as the umbrella closes and then vanishes.
What color is her tongue? What color is the daiquiri, I guess?
Like red and pink. Because he kind of did make it fancy to where it wasn't just, like, pink liquid. It definitely, like, it was a little frothy at the top because he added some, like, elements of making it, like, partially a slushy. Like, he made it fancy. So, like, pink and red. And then because Charybdis is, like, decked out in purple, at the top it kind of has this, like, purple gradient. It's bubbly.
Does he give Charybdis a straw?
Yes.
Oh. What color is the straw?
Pink.
Nice.
Yeah, and he looks down the whole bar, and he's just like, this must be a weird day. You're the most interesting lot of people I've ever seen on this vessel in my entire time working here.
I think everyone
we're all
on this
sitting
vessel
here.
I think everyone on this vessel is pretty interesting, personally. Including you. You said you've been here for 15 years?
I have.
So who is the weirdest person you've seen so far?
There was one time someone on here, very interesting guy. He comes on here once a year, right? And he's a human, I assume. And he has blue markings on his face, and he has bushy purple hair. And he's in these very, like, I would think clergy mixed with city guard clothes. And he's always carrying a staff that looks like a giant branch with these rotating discs going around it with this little ball in the middle that's just glowing at all times. And whenever he uses magic, his face glows where all the markings are. Weirdest man I've ever seen in my life, especially since he travels with this fur bulge, right? This weird guy. And his left eye is, like, literally on fire with, like, a green flame. And he does not like when you bring it up.
Wild. What's his name?
I believe the purple-haired gentleman is named Wester, and I believe the other guy is named Ackerley. They're on here again, once a year, and they're kind of acting like they're looking for something, and then they simply get off when we get to Viron, and then I don't see them again for another year. They've been doing this for 5 years now.
And you said that they're on this trip?
I do believe I saw them a few hours ago. I guess they're doing their yearly search of whatever the hell it is they're looking for.
Oh. Are they searching for something on the ship?
I feel like they're looking for not something, but someone. They don't like making conversation with me. They come up, get some water with some shifting tea grass so that they can pick their drink, and then they walk off.
As Spark says this, Charybdis says, "Excuse me," downs the rest of the daiquiri, gets up, and then walks out of the room. I'm gonna go search for Chronoheres.
Yeah, Sparks, like, watches Charybdis walk off, and he goes, "What a peculiar family head."
And then a couple moments later, the ferret, Talk, jumps up on the bar stool and then onto the bar itself, and then just presents Sparks with a single gold piece.
No, I said that it was free.
Talk eats it and then vanishes.
Alright. Allie.
One last thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Just before we move on to the next scene, Lady Reverie pulls out another 5 gold coins and sets it down in the bar and says, "I'm pretty sure actually none of us saw the Mobius twins, right?" And passes it to the bartender. We'll pass another 5 to Maria and another 5 to Winfrey. Say, right? None of us actually saw the Mobius twins. It was just someone else that we thought was them.
Yeah, sure.
Great. Glad that we all had the same misunderstanding.
Hey everyone, this is your DM speaking. I would like to personally thank you for tuning in to the first episode of RollBound. RollBound's episodes will premiere every Monday on both YouTube and Spotify. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at RollBoundPC for more updates, TTRPG content, and most of all, memes. Hope everyone tunes in next week to see what our motley crew gets mixed up in on the Siren Song. See ya!